Hello everyone and welcome to a new day with GameMaker. Today we will learn new concepts like every day. So let's learn today how can we move a character while colliding with other walls or objects at the same time. Then we will learn how we can make our object or player jump. So let's get programming. So as you can see, we have an empty project here. So to start a new project, you can download the one we provided in the resources and you can open it so we can start editing. You can simply drag and drop this file, then import it into your game. Then you will see a loading bar, wait for it to finish. Now with the next window, you can click on Add All. So now all the sprites are added. For me, I don't need the wall corner, so I will delete it. So now we can start by creating our objects. And as we're used to doing this, we will link those objects to the sprites. With this, I made objects for the character and another object for the wall. So now I will double click room 1 and then drag and drop the wall there. Now if I click the wall and go to the right edge, you see an arrow pointing sideways. I can expand the wall so I make it like a fence. So this looks like a horizontal wall. Now let's add our character. So now I will start programming. I will double click my player or character. Then I will add event and create. Of course, don't forget to choose GML visual. Okay, so now we will work a bit fast. I will drag and drop 4 assigned variables. Now I will name the first one move speed, which will determine the speed of the character. Then we will set the speed to 4. Now for the second block, we will name it jump speed, and this will determine how fast our character can jump. The value here will be 16. Now for the third block, we have the move underscore x, and the value is 0. And finally, move underscore y for the last block. So move x and move y will determine how can our character move and at what speeds when we start the game. So in the beginning, they will be set to 0. Until we click a certain button, and that's when our character will start moving. So now let's go back at event and select the step type event. As you know, this event occurs on every frame, so we can program it in a different way. Okay, now for the program, we will add 2 assigned variable blocks. And here we're going to control the move x speed. So let's name it move underscore x. And for the value, we're going to take the command from the keyboard itself. So I will write keyboard underscore check, then we open parentheses vk underscore right. Next, we will click on subtract, then keyboard underscore check, parentheses vk underscore left. This means that we're subtracting the right arrow key with the left arrow key. So what does this mean? This means that if you click the right arrow button, you will get 1. But if you click the left arrow button only, you will get a -1. So this means that the value will change depending on what keys you will press. We will also get a 0 if no button is pressed. So now we go to the next block and we name it move underscore x. So now we will update the speed in x direction. And our speed will be move underscore x times move underscore speed. So now move underscore x value will be the same value as the speed, which is multiplied by either a 1 or a -1. So this means that we can control the direction of the speed itself. So now we will check if our player is on the ground or not. So we will place a block called if object at place, and we will use it. So now, since we're programming our character, we will select the wall object in this block. This means that when our character is at the wall or touching the wall. So I want my character to be at least 1 to 2 pixels above. So let's choose 1 in the y direction for now. And don't forget to select the relative blocks. So now if my character is above the wall and it's landing on the wall, we want it to stop on the wall's surface. We don't want it to go even lower. So now if my character is above the ground, we should do something. So in the assign variable block, we will select move underscore y and set the speed to 0. So this means that our character's vertical speed will be 0, which means he will not fall down. Next, we will select if key down and place it under the assign variable. So here we are selecting vk underscore space. This means every time we click the space button, we want our character to jump. So let's get another assign variable and we can change the name. And here we write in the name move underscore y because this is the vertical direction. And in the value, we select minus jump speed because we want him to jump up. So we select minus the speed itself. Okay, so this is if we were starting from the ground and we wanted to jump up. What if the player was already in the air? How will it come down? So we need to program the else situation. So now I will find the else block and make sure you connect it to the left side of if object at place. So now we will have another path for our code. So now we select move underscore y less than 10. So when our character reaches the highest point in its jump, it should start to come down now. So here we assign a variable, we select move underscore y, and then we put value 1 and select relative. This means that when you want to jump up, you have a negative 16 speed, and when the negative 16 is less than 10, which is when you jump, then you should start adding 1 to it, which means you will reduce the speed of the jump. Then it will become a 0, and then it will become a positive, which means that the character will start to come down. Now we can select the move and collide block, and this block has a special feature. So now we select object 1, which is our character. Now in the x distance, it should be move underscore x. The y distance is move underscore y. So now if I run my program, as you can see, my character will be moving and I can also jump. So when I jump, it reaches a top height, then it starts to fall down like a normal character. So now my character can also move right, it can also move left, and you can control that also. So now one problem with me, if my character is going to the left, it's still facing to the right. So I want it to turn when we go to the left. So if we want the character to turn left, let's add an if variable block. So now if move x is not 0, then we connect an assign variable to it. And here we can choose image underscore x scale. And this is a built-in variable. In the value, you need to use the function sign, sign, and inside the parentheses, you use move underscore x, which is usually a 0, 1, or -1. So we can extract the sign, which is a positive or negative. So if we get a negative sign here, this means that our image will be flipped in its direction and our character will be facing the left side. So here in the if block, it says if move underscore x is not 0. So it will only check when our character is moving to either directions. As you can see now, when we test it, my character can move to the right. And as soon as it turns to the left, the image of the character flips and he points to the left. And you can also jump. So today we learned how to move an object. We also learned how to collide with the wall and make it stop. Then we learned how to make the object jump. You also learned how to make the picture of the object turn in either direction. So this marks the end of this video, and let's continue to the project overview.